David Beckham has surprised everybody by saying that Newcastle United may well be dark horses in the Champions League this year. Amanda Staveley, in her High Performance podcast, has slammed the training ground for when the takeover happened. It was not fit for purpose. Let's dive in, guys. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Toon Review. My name is Paul. This is your latest Newcastle United news. Thank you once again for tuning in. So we'll start off with David Beckham, a world-renowned name in football, of course, and knows his stuff. He's been there, he's done it, he's worn the T-shirt. And this time around, on CBS Sports, David Beckham has predicted that Newcastle United may well be the team to keep an eye on in the Champions League this season. Now, look, I'm not sitting here saying David Beckham is saying we're going to win the damn thing, because I don't think he meant that. But what he means is going quite far in the competition and giving teams a run for their money. I think we all know that for Newcastle United to win the Champions League would be an absolute dream come true. That dream for me is still a distance away. But if we can compete, if we can get through the first round, and finish high up the league table, who knows what might happen? When it comes to the knockout stages, you just never know. And we can maybe progress quite far in the tournament, hopefully. But like I said, there's teams in this competition who are world elite. And we're not at that level yet. We know that. But to get quite far in the competition would be a fantastic advertisement for the football club. Now, David Beckham was on CBS Sports. Kate Scott and obviously Carragher was there. Mika Richards was there. And David Beckham believes that Eddie Howe's Mags might just be this year's one to watch, backing us to surprise a few people who've been writing us off over the past few weeks and months. Now, of course, the usual has happened when the predictions for the Champions League come out. The pundits themselves are basically writing Newcastle off. You've got no chance, basically, etc., etc. And it's the usual teams that are spoken about, and the usual teams that are apparently going to win it, etc., etc. However, David Beckham went on to say, I think people are already writing Newcastle United off in the Champions League. Newcastle are a good team. They have some very good players and very together as a team, as a fans, and as a club. They could surprise a few people. So for me, for David Beckham to say that, that's fantastic. It really proves that we actually are being noticed across world football right now, because obviously Beckham spends a lot of time in America with Miami, of course, owning that team, etc. But he's obviously, like I said earlier, he's been there and done that. He knows his stuff. And to say that Newcastle United are together as a team, as fans and as a club, for me is brilliant, because it just proves how far this football club has come in such a very short space of time. We all know what we went through years and years ago under Mike Ashley. We will actually come on to that in a moment with what Amanda had to say. But for somebody as a stature of David Beckham to say, don't write Newcastle United off, I think it's brilliant, guys. I do. I honestly think it's brilliant. And it just shows you where we are now as a football club. Of course, we've got a very busy few months ahead. Certainly the Champions League. We go to Barca, then we go to Saint-Gilloise in Belgium, and then Benfica at home, Atletico Bilbao at home again. And we've got Marseille, Leverkusen, Eindhoven, PSG. There's some fantastic fixtures in this group, guys, in this league stage. And it's just magnificent for us to be there. But I just thought I would mention that, because it just mainly proves to me how far we have come as a football club in general from the dark, dark days of Mike Ashley. Now, speaking of Mike Ashley, Amanda Staveley, of course, I think everybody's, most people have seen the High Performance podcast and listened to what Amanda had to say. She got very, very emotional in the interview. Her love for Newcastle United is still there for everybody to see. There is no doubt in anybody's mind that Amanda Staveley still, her heart belongs with Newcastle United. And it's such a damn shame that she's not there anymore. I really do mean that. How can you not love this woman who did so much to get the takeover done, who guided the first few years of the takeover, who liaised with fans as much as possible, spoke to us on a regular basis, was always there for a photograph or anything like that. Just a wonderful, wonderful person to have at the football club, along with her husband, Dad. And everything seemed to be going really, really well. I don't think anybody expected Amanda and Dad to be there for years and years. I think it was just to oversee the takeover and then the first few years of that. But for me, it ended a little bit salty for me. It wasn't great the way it ended. But that's just life, guys. We as Newcastle United fans, we're not privy to what goes on behind the scenes. And obviously, they felt the time was right, or were they pushed? We will never know. We will never, ever know what happened with that. However, Amanda's been quite critical of what the situation was when the takeover happened. And we all saw the pictures, didn't we, of Newcastle United in wheelie bins, classed as ice baths and all this kind of garbage, because Mike Ashley didn't put a penny into it. And he was never, ever, ever going to put a penny into it at all. We all know that Mike Ashley used Newcastle United as a cash cow. That's all it was to him. Just generate money, and let it go after that. However, this is what Amanda had to say to Jake Humphrey on the podcast. The training ground was a joke. We had to be able to attract players immediately, so we couldn't just say, well, okay, we're going to develop a fantastic new training ground, and it's going to take 18 months to do the plans, and it'll take 2 years to develop. We needed to solve the problem there and then. So my husband and his brother and the PIF team, alongside Jamie Rubin, put a plan together to do that and to take what we had and train it into which now, when you go up, is really lovely. I mean, the food was bad. People were almost having cold baths, but it was just like ice buckets, no cryotherapy, all the lack of facilities you need. It just says everything, doesn't it? I mean, you're talking about a Premier League football team here, a Premier League football team, and the current owner just did not give a shit. How are players supposed to get 100% fit with no cryotherapy, no nothing, and having to take ice baths in wheelie bins and paddling pools and whatever it was else that they used to utilize? It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I'm glad Amanda's come out and said that, because we all knew it was complete bollocks. But what they walked into, I don't think we'll ever get a true idea of the shambles that Newcastle United was before these guys took over the football club, because that's what it was. It was a shambles, both on the pitch and behind the scenes. And so much work has been done since the takeover to get everything back to what it is now. And there's still a lot of work to be done. We all know that. There's a lot of work to be done, guys. But listen, we can only just hope that they still keep going and build us to what we know we can be as a football club. But if you haven't seen the podcast from Amanda on the High Performance YouTube channel, go and watch it, because she's so emotional, and you can tell her love for the club is just still right up there. Now, on to a bit of news about Barcelona, and it looks like Lamine Yamal will not be playing for Barcelona on Thursday night against Newcastle United. And for me as a Newcastle fan, I think this is a blow to everybody, because when you're in the Champions League, certainly from my perspective as a fan, I want to see my players from my club go up against the very best in world football. And Yamal is one of those. He is one of the best in the world at only 18-year-old. He has an incredible talent. He's an incredible player. And I think a lot of Newcastle United fans would have loved to have seen him out there performing at St. James's Park. No doubt about it. Does it weaken Barcelona? A little bit, but they've still got world-class players in their squad. There's no discussion about that. That's just fact. But when you're talking about a player of Lamine Yamal's capabilities, you want to see the best on the pitch at St. James's Park. So I'm a little bit disappointed that it looks like he's going to miss the game. It all happened on Spanish international duty. Spain played him when he had an injury. Spain FA said it was a back injury. He's come back to Barcelona, and it's actually a groin injury he's got. So Hansi Flick is absolutely furious with the Spanish FA for playing him. He went on to say about playing an 18-year-old kid, putting so much pressure on him at international level already is unfair. Yamal himself, as an 18-year-old kid, will want to go out and play every single game. Whether he's injured or not, he will still want to go out there, and it needs somebody of his stature to turn around, tap him on the shoulder and say, no, you're injured. There's bigger things to come, sunshine. You're not playing in this game, and rest him. But Spain didn't. They played him, and now Barcelona are having to pay the consequence of that, and they are not happy because they want their very best players available in any Champions League game. So Lamine Yamal is going to miss the game. And for me, as a fan, I'm disappointed. I don't know how you feel. Let me know in the comments. Are you disappointed that he's probably going to miss the game? Or is Hansi Flick just playing a few funny games and we might actually see Yamal? Who knows? But at the minute, there's definitely a big argument going on between Barcelona and the Spanish FA regarding the injury and playing him when he's injured. And we would have been the same had Bruno or Toon Army come back injured from international duty when we knew that the player had a knock, but the international side played him anyway and got the injury worse. I think we'd be all in uproar as well in Newcastle. So we can understand where Hansi Flick is coming from. But let me know in the comments. Are you disappointed that he's probably going to miss the game? That's it, folks. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And, of course, if you're new to around here and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free of charge. But don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never, ever miss an upload or a live show. We're back tonight. If you're watching this on Tuesday, we're back tonight with the Fan Forum. Get yourself on. Have a chat with me about the weekend's game against Wolves, and of course the big one on Thursday night, the Champions League. How are you feeling ahead of that? You don't need a camera. If you just want to use your microphone, that is fine as well. So join me from 7 p.m. for that. But in the meantime, have a fab day, folks, and we'll see you soon. Take care.